All right, Kurt Sasser here from TGT Webcomics at C2E2. We're here with Len and Tony from Chicago 1968. How are you guys doing today?
Oh,
Good.
yeah, it's been great so far. Great show.
Not bad for a Friday.
Yeah.
You guys look dead on your feet here. It's been long.
We feel dead on our feet. It was quite an ordeal getting in and set up. But everything looks good so far. We're really happy how everything turned out.
Yeah, it was a little intimidating at first. I mean, they got this webcomics pavilion, which is cool. I'm glad that webcomics got their own pavilion, right? I'm used to just having a table in Artist Alley, but now we got like a back wall. I got a whole third dimension depth to worry about here. So I was a little intimidated at first, but Tony's also, in addition to being an excellent cartoonist, an excellent interior decorator. So we would just, we got some fucking what is that? Feng Shui?
Yeah, right. A little Feng Shui action going on, and we have to work with what we got, and we had a corner spot, and it's so rare to actually get the corner table that you want to try and make it work for you. So we decided to go ahead and go diagonal.
I do some naughty things to get a corner section.
Yeah,
I shouldn't even mention it.
You are a dirty person.
I said corner spot. He's like, all right, you know what you need to do.
But we're happy with the webcomic area. I want to switch it right back to what we were talking about.
Wait.
Yeah, because we'll go on a tangent. You don't want that.
I know. You don't have enough film in that camera.
I mean, as far as having a webcomic area, I think it's easier to not get lost in Artist Alley now, especially now that you have much more of the bigger name professionals going there to do more personal business, art books, prints, promoting whatever books they're not able to promote at their tables. So it's nice to kind of have an area. It's a little bit of it's like webcomic camaraderie.
Right. It's what you're looking at is the future here. I mean, it's the game is in the middle of changing, and so this is a part of comics that really seem to be kind of looking forward instead of trying to rescue something from the past that might not even be a tangible lucrative business model anymore. So it really is like a brotherhood, because when you're doing stuff on the web, it's independent. It's people who do it for the love, rather than trying to sell out or get a fucking movie deal, which would be cool. Hey, Chicago 1968, the movie.
Sorry, I drew a blank right there. I'm like, the movie? Crap, we haven't even finished the comic.
Yeah, screw Hollywood. Give me a call, Hollywood.
However, we are happy to be amongst a lot of really talented webcomic artists. There's a lot of wonderful talent here, and a lot of really great webcomics.
Let's talk about how talented we are, man.
We are super talented. We're pretty awesome. I would want to be my friend.
Yes.
And I want to be his friend more.
Yes.
But he won't let me.
No.
So, yeah. Do you read 68? Do you like 68?
Honestly, first time I've heard of it. Perfectly honest with you. I'm a reader of many webcomics, but this is the first time I've seen your work, both of you guys, and I like it. I like what I've seen so far. It makes me want to read it.
Right.
Which is the main thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, and we're, our approach, some people who are familiar with webcomics are probably most familiar with the Gag-A-Day strips. And I mean, and they're, I can see why, because you get fresh content every single day, and it's just like the 3 or 4 panel type of strip, and it's great. It's a great way to consume comics on the internet. We were looking to do something a little more dramatic, which, to be perfectly honest, is a tough to read on the internet, because you need, we have about 70 pages in our archive now. So if you're a new reader, you could start from the beginning, and we update with about a page a week, maybe sometimes 2 weeks.
Yeah, sometimes 2, depending on what the situation is. Sometimes life kicks in, and you're unable to finish something on time. Like, for instance, there's another project I was working on, and my computer just died. So I have no electricity, so now it's got to wait.
Yeah, that's not like we got Joey Quesada reaching into his pocket saying, all right,
that'd be great.
I'll send a million ghost artists to your house.
Yeah, and we really enjoy working on it. I enjoy getting Len's scripts. He keeps it nice and tight as far as what he's looking for to be the content on the page, but then he leaves everything else up to me, so he trusts me as far as that. So we keep it nice and loose, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's just as successful as it is.
Yeah, it's a successful partnership anyway.
So, and we've already discussed where we're going to be going with our next project once this is done. I mean, it does have an end. Yeah. We can't keep the Adventures of Mayor Daly first.
I want to talk about what we're going to do next, but let's, what else do you want to ask about 1968?
Well, not really necessarily 1968, but more along the lines of C2E2. This is the inaugural con. You guys are at a crossroad, I think, when it comes to the Chicago-based conventions.
Right.
And how do you feel about being, I guess, among the first in terms of webcomic pavilion?
It's exciting. I mean, I think even though it's a Friday, it's I don't know if slow as much as just there are people still at work or people getting off of work.
For, man. Tomorrow you're gonna have to like ninja fight your way to a urinal. But
I think it's really fun to be a part of this as the first con in Chicago that's this large over by the lake. I think it's going to be successful, and I think it's going to be something that continues. It's gonna turn into Chicago version of San Diego.
It'll be the best thing that ever happened in my career, man. I don't have to travel to go to all the cool places.
And that's a selfish perk. We don't have to go all the way to Rosemont anymore. Now we just jump on one train and come over here. So.
Yeah, San Diego can kiss my.
Yeah, let's not go there. Yeah, get that right.
So, all right, let's talk about some future projects you guys have on the go. I mean, you wanted to touch on it briefly. I don't want you to give too much away, but
it's fine. It's all like very conceptual. It's like, you know, we're watching movies, and that's kind of like that's how we collaborate. You know, I mean, when Tony first came on in 1968, I had an artist for the first group of pages, Jenny Friesen, who was very good, and she moved on, and then me and Tony were looking for a reason to work together, and you know, sure enough, one just like, oh man, I need an artist, Tony, you got to save me, and he's like, I will save you.
Yeah.
And then it was just like
that too.
We're talking about. The one thing I noticed right away, like when Tony has like such a, as opposed to what's different about Tony's art as opposed to Jenny's, what I noticed right away was that it's very dynamic. He's a cartoonist more, I'd say, than a comic artist, if there's a difference. And it's just there's a lot of kinetic energy, motion. There was like a little like scene with where they're playing grab ass in Lincoln Park, doing like full karate moves and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is the coolest action scene in the whole damn book.
I was really excited to finally draw something with action in it. I mean, I love doing all the other, for lack of a better term, more mundane storytelling. Well, he told me I can get like all karate and martial artsy with it. I'm like, all right, I won't make him look like Chuck Norris or anything, but this is gonna look kind of cool. So I think that prompted Len to want to have us work on something that's a little more action oriented. And when he told me his concept, I was really excited about it, because I mean, we're talking blood, soldiers, battles, and it's
medieval. It's knights who Teutonic knights, you know, go into the forest, and they're going to conquer these people of the forest. It's based off a true story about the last pagans in Europe, where they were Lithuanians actually, and then the Teutonic knights, they got kicked out of the Holy Land from the Crusades, and then they chilled out in Transylvania for a while, which will make you weird. I don't care who you are, you're going to get a little weird if you live in Transylvania for a while. And then they go up and they try to conquer these people of the forest. So it's going to have magic and swords and just a whole lot more action. You know, I mean, we have a certain level of like realism we have to adhere to with 1968. Even though it's when watch the way Tony handles action, it makes me want to write more into it. You know, and we're about to hit the climax, the third act of 1968.
And now it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
It'll be a complete wild ride. And in all honesty, I really enjoy Len's writing, and he actually makes historical fiction really exciting. So this next project, I think, is going to be pretty nuts. So can't wait to get started on it. But I guess we got to finish this one first.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, it's hosted on my website, but it's also hosted on the Image Shadowline website, Jim Valentino's imprint of Image. If you go to their website, it's I guess co-hosted. I mean, there's they got like a little like group of webcomics, and now we're one of them. And so, you know, when it comes time to publish it, hopefully it would be through Jim Valentino. But regardless, it's been great for him to kind of give a whole new level of exposure, legitimacy, and a different audience, broader audience. What the hell, Jim Valentino? My name's not Jim Valentino. I wish it was. So it's kind of cool that he let us he invited us to post over there too.